I'm Bruce Bennett, film critic for The Spectrum.
My name's Adam Mast, and I'm a critic for ZBoneman.com and The Independent here in lovely St. George, Utah.
And of course, we're hosts of FilmFanatics, but you may be asking, why are we sitting here on the beautiful Tuacahn Amphitheater stage? Are you wondering if Adam is going to bust into a song or dance?
Maybe.
We hope not, but tell them why we're here.
Don't worry. We are here for the inaugural kickoff of DocUtah. So I guess the first thing we want to talk about is documentaries, and I'm sure people are wondering why documentaries.
Yep.
For me personally, for whatever reason, documentary is a really kind of a dirty word in terms of, you know, commercial movies. For whatever reason, people don't want to go. And Michael Moore is one of the few filmmakers who's actually had commercial success, but it's strange. It even happens to me. I'll be talking to a friend and I'll say, hey, you want to go see The Cove? And they're like, what's that? And I'll tell them it's this really amazing thriller about dolphins being slaughtered in Japan, and they're like all for it. And when I tell them it's a documentary, they're kind of like, well, you know, I don't want to see that. Let's go see
a lot of people rather
Transformers instead. Or
they want to be entertained as opposed to educated.
Right, and that's the thing. You can be.
Yeah,
a documentary can entertain and enlighten just as strongly as a narrative film. And we're hoping that DocUtah is maybe going to set the stage for that.
There's no better opportunity to become convinced of the power of documentaries than DocUtah. They're going to be showing 136 different films from 37 different countries. They'll actually have 40 student-produced documentaries, which is exciting. And for those of you who are interested in learning a little bit behind the scenes about how to make a film, how to produce a documentary, there's going to be seminars and workshops geared specifically towards those types of topics.
Yeah, aren't you doing a seminar over there?
I should, on how to be a great film
Well,
critic.
I'll be sure to attend so you can teach me.
You need to
attend. That'd be amazing. I'll be there.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the details about when everything starts?
The festival begins Thursday, September 16th, and it kicks off with a really amazing documentary called Forgiveness, which is slated to air on PBS later this year. It's actually a 4-hour piece. They're going to break it up into 2 pieces. The first half will be shown here, and it's sort of a dissertation on forgiveness in the political and personal realm, and it's actually going to be screening here at this lovely venue. I don't know if anyone out there has been here, but it's gorgeous, and they're going to be doing a lot of outdoor films, and Southern Utah is the perfect spot for that. So I think there's going to be some really, really amazing stuff.
So that's the first date to remember, Thursday, September 16th, 7 o'clock right here at Tuacahn. There'll be an opening gala, but they will be showing films throughout a variety of theaters for the following week, right?
Yeah, there's venues in Kanab, Angels Landing. Here in St. George, we've got the Electric Theater, we've got West States, the O.C. Tanner Amphitheater up there in Springdale. So really amazing venues. They really are going out all guns blazing. They're starting out big, and I think that's really smart. I mean, after all, Sundance didn't start off as this great big thing. It was this small little thing, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And I think Phil Tuckett and the creative team at DocUtah, that's kind of what they're going for. But, you know, this is the first year, and it really is about the movies, and there really is some amazing stuff playing.
Awesome. And when we come back, Adam and I are going to talk about several of our favorite documentaries.
Welcome back to Film Fanatics. Again, I'm Adam Mast, and this handsome gentleman next to me is Bruce Bennett.
Thank you.
No problem. I give credit where credit is due. Anyway, we're here talking about DocUtah, and we thought it'd be fun to kind of give you, the audience, a little insight into some of our favorite documentaries, and we're going to go age before beauty, so I'm going to go ahead and let Bruce start us off here.
Well, my love affair with documentaries started a long, long time ago, and I was actually a senior in high school in Mrs. Krantz advanced writing class, and I kept writing about sports, and she said, Bruce, write about something else. What else do you like? And I said, well, I like movies. And she said, well, go to the theater and see a movie and write about it. And that was many years ago, and I saw the film Animals Are Beautiful People.
Yeah.
And I can say I got a B+. So that's where it all started out. And who knew that many years later I'd be writing film essays.
I got to ask, let me stop you. Can you clarify, can you tell us what year that was, please? What year?
I refuse. But you were probably not born yet, Adam.
Probably not.
Okay. Well, tell us about a couple of documentaries.
You know, I have so many favorite films. I think arguably the best documentarian out there working today is Errol Morris, and he's made several films. And when we were like prepping this show, the movie that kept popping into my head is a film from over 20 years ago. It's called Thin Blue Line.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's a film in which Errol Morris was really interested in this case in Dallas, Texas. This gentleman was convicted of murder, and Errol Morris was fascinated, so he started interviewing the guy, and it was purely objective, and then it became this big thing, and Errol Morris ended up really believing the guy. So he started following him around, he started doing some digging, and as a result of this film, the case was reopened, and subsequently, the gentleman that was involved in the murder case was actually innocent.
Well, you were a pretty young
so
guy.
That's how powerful a documentary can be.
You were pretty young. Why did that affect you so powerfully? You were pretty young
I've
at the time.
loved movies ever since I was a little kid. Doesn't matter what kind. I'm just drawn to good movies, and it was compelling. I mean, it was better than a lot of dramas that came out that year. You know, a couple of our heroes, anyone who loves film is a big fan of Siskel and Ebert, and they raved about it. And at the time, you know, documentaries, there was nothing. You couldn't find anything out there. And I don't even think I saw it in a theater. I think I actually had to wait for video. I remember being really excited about seeing it. But yeah, it's an amazing film.
And now documentaries are some of my favorite movies.
Absolutely.
A couple of years ago, a documentary came out called Young at Heart. And you probably remember this one, Adam.
Great movie.
Where a guy takes a bunch of octogenarians and teaches them how to sing and perform rock and roll.
In layman's terms, senior citizens.
Yeah, well, or people over 80. And it was life-affirming and inspiring at the same time.
Yeah, it was a great movie, totally uplifting. I absolutely loved it. Another musical-based documentary that we both really liked, and I'm not going to play the bias card because I'm from Utah. I don't care where you're from. New York Doll, Greg Whiteley's film about Arthur Killer Kane. He was a bassist for a 70s band, and he sort of disappeared into obscurity for several years, and then turned up, he became a devout member of the Mormon Church. But, you know, I'm not LDS, that's totally irrelevant, but the only reason I bring it up is I don't think you need to belong to any one church to appreciate what the power of that movie. And where the movie goes, it's serendipitous. Where it goes, there's no way those filmmakers could have known that it was going to go there, and it's just such an excellent movie. Well,
one of the things that's so great about documentaries is that their objective is not to reach a specific target market. They're made because the filmmakers are passionate about what they do, and that passion comes through. And so we can't say enough about documentaries. Now, when we come back at them, we're going to talk a little bit more about DocUtah, give you a few more specifics about why this is one of the most important events this year here in southern Utah. Welcome back to Film Fanatics, and we're talking about DocUtah. First of its kind international film festival right here in southern Utah. And we should mention a very unique aspect of DocUtah, Adam, is that it's a collaboration with Dixie State College. So in addition to all the great films and all the great filmmakers, we want to give thanks to Dixie State College for all their support. But talk a little bit about DocUtah, some more of the specifics.
You know, there's a lot of great films. We talked a little bit about Forgiveness, which is the opening night film. Another film I'm already hearing quite a bit about is a movie called Ball Hawks, a whimsical movie made all the more whimsical through Bill Murray's narration. Who knows, maybe Bill will even show up. Well, I doubt it, but there's great golf here, so you never can tell.
That's a good point, because a lot of these documentaries, even though they're on a low budget, they do feature a lot of outstanding actors and actresses, and a lot of them really like making documentaries. So once again, these films at DocUtah will be shown throughout different venues. We open September 16th, 7 o'clock. That's a Thursday right here on the Tuacahn Amphitheater stage will be kind of the opening gala. And then for the following week until the 25th, there will be films all over at West States, even theater in Kanab. We'll show some
even there's going to be some really great stuff at the Electric Theater, actually. They're doing a screening of a Fishbone, sort of an animated experimental documentary. And Fishbone's actually going to be here in St. George, Utah, which is a big deal for music fans because they've been around for many years. I saw them a couple of times back in the 80s. So yeah, they're going to do an hour-long set after the film. There's just
where
a whole
can
bunch
people
of
get
good
more
stuff.
information at?
They can go on to DocUtah.com. Or we're going to have plenty of articles in our respective papers as well.
Look in the Spectrum and the Independent for lots of information about DocUtah. You can pick up one of their pamphlets at various venues throughout southern Utah. But go to DocUtah.com. You don't want to miss DocUtah. It's going to be first of its kind.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. And a final note, we should mention for those familiar, we did have a show called Film Fanatics. Hopefully, we're coming back. Give me some.
Okay.
Film Fanatics is coming back.
You wanted it. You asked for it.
In the near future. So hopefully, we'll be back delivering all the latest in movie news and reviews. Until then, I'm Adam Mast with The Independent and ZBowman.com.
And I'm Bruce Bennett, film critic for The Spectrum. And we're Film Fanatics.
Are you?